our industry has a terrible rap, unfortunately for good reason, because there are so many scam artists out there and so many agencies put you into this boxed program and there's no sort of flexibility around that. It might suit your business. Like it may well be just what you need. You might just need that structure that the agency gives you, that it gives everybody. But you may also want to ask questions about your ads and the performance and the campaigns. You might want some more custom support and custom strategy to feel like you are actually spending your money wisely on ads and not wasting it. Hey, welcome to Aussie Online Growing on Shopify. This is episode 167 and it's called Who Works With Me? What sort of client actually reaches out to book a discovery call with me, or more importantly, maybe who actually decides to go ahead and then work with me after having had a discovery call and chatted for 25 minutes. This is a salesy episode, I'll tell you up front. So if you want to bail, I understand. But if you've been listening to me, or heard lots of my episodes maybe, or used the first episode you've come across and you're wondering who I am and who would choose to work with me, maybe this episode will be beneficial for you in deciding if there's something you want to do, or if you just want to hang about a bit longer and listen to some more episodes and continue to DIY your own solutions, or if you're working with somebody else, also entirely okay. Let me tell you sort of from the outset, I guess the type of business owner that often books a discovery call with me, who I often chat to for the very first time on Zoom, via a discovery call, they already have a Shopify store and they probably have products and they're trying to sell them online. That is usually the place where people first reach out to me. They have an online store, they have products in their online store, they're trying to get people to find them and to buy them. It's pretty much, I suppose, the sort of the baseline of why somebody would decide to book a call with me and chat about their business for 25 minutes, which is free. You can book it in my calendar. You can find a date and literally book your time in my Zoom calendar. They may be trying to do some marketing as well, and they just feel a bit stuck. Things are really inconsistent or messy. They're unclear where to go next, what to do next. They're trying to work out what a good result looks like and if things are even worth doing of some of the things they are doing. And they want a bit of a path of where to go next. Like, what can I do? What should I be doing? And can you help me do it? That's probably some of the common things that clients first say to me. The other thing I'll tell you as well, because two of my current clients are in this boat, is they also have a bricks and mortar store. So two of my clients at the moment have an actual physical boutique or a store you can visit, and they're online. So they reached out to me for the same reason though, which was to grow online. The side effect though of that for both of them has been more foot traffic as well, which I have loved. So they've got more foot traffic through the door because of the online advertising we're doing. So, I mean, that just makes perfect sense. But that's the other type of maybe business owner who reaches out to me, is they have an actual storefront, an actual address people can visit, and they have something online as well, which is probably a smaller offering than what's in store potentially. But the online component of what they are trying to build and sell these products to others around the country, usually around Australia, they want to grow that and they want to get it bigger. So that's usually where people find themselves at. And they get to the point where they're just not sure where to go next or what to do next, or they want someone to do it for them, so they're not doing it themselves. So they're not at the idea stage anymore. I don't usually, if people book a discovery call with me to chat about their idea but they haven't launched yet, that's all good. I'm okay with that. That's not a problem. I'm not saying if you're at that stage, I'm not saying don't book a call to chat with me. But usually people who then choose to go ahead and work with me for a month to start off with are usually past that point and they have the store already. They may have run ads already. They probably have a Klaviyo account. Often people have already built or set up their Klaviyo account too, and they just haven't touched it. They just haven't done anything inside it. They're not sure what to do or if it's even worth it. It's kind of where people end up booking a call with me. And I absolutely feel like my role is to come alongside and to kind of just take up some of these messy pieces for them and make some sense out of all of it. That's really what I feel like I do for business owners, is to make some sense out of all of these pieces that they have. Like if you have a business or an online store, you know this is the case. Actually, this was a conversation I had in a discovery call last week with someone who booked a discovery call last week, was that they're inside a Facebook group to help them build their website and their product page. And I would suggest against that. If you haven't done that yet and you're considering it, I would suggest not to, because I don't know that there's many other ways to feel paralyzed faster than asking the internet for advice on your website and advice on your product page. I genuinely think you will get less helpful advice than helpful. And there are so many things you can do with a website, but the most important thing is just getting it live and getting traffic to it. That's the way you tell if the website is good or not, because you don't know what your add to cart rate is, what your initiate checkout rate is, what your conversion rate is until you drive enough store sessions to get you that information. And asking the random people on the internet inside a Facebook group what they think about your website, I think will paralyze you. I genuinely think you'll get a list of 100 things to change based off of 100 different opinions. So if you haven't yet put your website out to the world and you're considering joining a Facebook group to ask for advice, please don't. Don't even ask me. Just get it live, buy something yourself to make sure the checkout works, and then launch it. And then change everything you want to after that. Like I've said to you many times before, if you've listened to me for a while, your website is never finished anyway. You're always going to want to change things about it. Last week's episode 166, I think, I actually talked about all the changes I made last week on my website. I probably spent 2 hours or 2.5 hours on my website just last week, making some significant changes to the brand messaging, to my website banner, and to my product page template. And so I did that just last week. And then I think the changes I might have made before that were probably a month prior. Like your website's always going to be something you want to touch and play around with and alter. And unless you're running ads and getting a massive amount of users to that website every day, you have not got enough data yet to tell you what is good or what is bad about it. So don't spend time making it perfect or making it suit random people's advice on the internet. Just make sure the checkout works and launch it, and then find some data after that and make changes based off that data. That's what I would suggest. That's probably not one of my points. What are my points? Sorry, that was a conversation I had on a discovery call last week, and I felt like it was worth sharing with you today. So that's where people come to me and book a call. They're at the place of looking for clarity and knowing what to do next and where to go, and someone to do it for them because they don't want to be learning how to do it. They don't have the skills to do it, and they want to grow their team. They want to grow their store. Many business owners who then go ahead and work with me know their time is better spent elsewhere, and let me worry about the things that I am very good at worrying about, which is Meta Ads and Klaviyo email marketing are my two strong suits. And I said to these potential clients last week on the call as well, I said, I cannot help you with your Shopify theme. Like if you need an overhaul of your website, that's really not my domain of expertise. I wouldn't want to be, going ahead and taking you guys on as clients and telling you that's something I'm good at when I know I'm not. That's not my specialty. My specialty is just two things. And if that's something you need one of those two things or both, then I'm the person you can absolutely reach out to and book a discovery call and let's chat and work together for 1 month. I don't have retainers, so you don't have to sign up for a year or anything like that. We can just work together for a month. Then after a month, you can decide to take the reins back yourself to DIY your next steps and your next solution and continue the maintenance and growth yourself, or keep me around. It's entirely up to you. So that's one thing I find with new clients when they book and when they want to chat is that they're looking for that clarity. And I do feel like that's something I offer clients when they come on board and I maybe give too much information. I potentially do, but I'm okay with that because I can't tell you how many discovery calls I have had with clients who have said they have been burnt by agencies before who put them into kind of a fixed box of the program the agency rolls out. And that's where they were locked into, and that the agency never listened to them, didn't really give them any clarity or direction or answer any questions. And they just never felt very confident in the service the agency was delivering or the data they were reporting on. So when a new client starts with me, I'm well aware that I do over deliver on communication. A new client started with me in February and I sent him 4 reports in the first 2 weeks, like a summary of what I had been doing in his ads and what the data was telling me, and then the changes I made, and asked him for different types of content we needed to launch new ads. Hey, what's the very next step in growing online for your e-commerce store? If you're on Shopify, if you have Klaviyo, if you have Meta Ads, or you need to leverage any of those platforms, I work on a project by project basis. So there's no like crazy long retainer you need to worry about signing up for if you work with me one-on-one for just 1 month. I can get you some emails sorted. Let's get your segments built in Klaviyo properly. Improve your deliverability score. Let's get you some revenue. You can actually see the metrics, see the revenue coming through. In 2025, email marketing made up 22% of my total revenue across the year, which was actually an increase of 80% on the year before. So I'm in a great position to support you as a small e-commerce store owner. If you are brand new to e-commerce, maybe you want to be DIYing these solutions for yourself. You want to jump into ads and build some ads, some audiences, some targeting yourself, get your Advantage Plus shopping campaign set up and all your creative firing. Please do so and listen to all my previous podcast episodes. There's no gatekeeping here. You can take all the information you want. Everything I share is results I see in my own ad account and my clients' ads accounts as well. It's experience from what is happening now in e-commerce because yes, I am still an e-commerce store owner. I'm still in the trenches with you guys. Please find me at Aussie Online Growing on Shopify.com.au. Book yourself a call. Let's chat. You won't regret it. And let's work together for a month and see where you want to go from there. Now, back to the episode. So I over communicate with you because I'm very aware that like our industry has a terrible rap. Like marketers, agencies, we have a terrible rap. And unfortunately for good reason because there are so many scam artists out there and so many agencies, like I said, that kind of put you into this boxed program and there's no sort of flexibility around that. It might suit your business. Like it may well be just what you need. You might just need that structure that the agency gives you, that it gives everybody. But you may also want to ask questions about your ads and the performance and the campaigns. And you might want to try something a bit different. You might want some more custom support and custom strategy to feel like you are actually spending your money wisely on ads and not wasting it. Feel like as well you're not funding somebody else's learnings. This is a big one. Yeah, this is a big one. Is that I know when clients sometimes at the stage they book a call to chat with me so that they have spent money with agencies, but they're convinced that a lot of the money they spent with the agency went into funding a junior media buyer's training. So as in coming on with a new client, especially if you're a small business, especially if you're a small e-commerce store, they are not giving your account to their best performing media buyer. And I know that some clients, when they have spoke to me, have said they genuinely felt that they either knew more about ads than the media buyer, or they felt like their advertising budget on Meta and the money they were giving the agency was just being used to train somebody in Meta Ads. Yeah, it's just so unfortunate. I find it so unfortunate. Anyway, it feels like it's a bit depressing, this episode. I didn't mean it to be depressing. That is one of the common things I hear as well when people book a discovery call with me. For sure. And of course, apart from that is people who book who just want the support without doing the work themselves. They just need the solution. They need it sorted and solved. And they don't want to be paying attention to it and trying to find the hours in their week to solve this for themselves. And this is true for my own business 100% as well. When I think about the contractors I have chosen to take on in my own business to help it to continue to grow in the last 2 years, I've hired a bookkeeper. I have had a content creator, and he's a content creator you can actually work with as well. There's a blog post on my website that tells you how you can work with my content creator. So if you want someone to create 20 pieces of content for you, please reach out to me through that blog post and you can work with my content creator. And also I've joined a mastermind. It's called E-commerce Equation. I did a podcast episode about it last year. I've actually left that program now. I've moved on to a different program as of the 1st of April. So depending when you listen to this podcast episode, I may not still be with E-commerce Equation. I've moved on to a different program now with a different founder, which is 4 times the cost a month. I'm going to join it for a month and see what happens because, yeah, it's 4 times the monthly fee that E-commerce Equation was. I don't want to tell you anything more yet because I've got to try it out and see what I want to share with you about it. But that's coming up anyway. I've chosen to do that. That's a cost I'm willing to invest because I need some things solved and I want the next steps unlocked for me in growth. And then the last thing is I have somebody editing this podcast. So I have had somebody do, I think, 6 episodes for me now, and I've just signed up for another 10. So I'm paying to have that outsourced because I don't want to find those hours in my week anymore. I'm doing client work. I have more clients now than ever. I've got limited places for new clients to join me. So if you are on the fence, I encourage you to jump in. I have a spot available in May for a new client. I'm not sure if I have more than one. It's hard to know when I'm recording this. It's sort of the middle of March, so it's a bit early to tell, but I have definitely one new spot in May that I have available. Not sure I have any more than that, but please go book a discovery call and let's chat, and then I can let you know what availability I have in the upcoming months. So that's another reason. It's just to get things solved and get the expertise you need in certain areas to move things along and get to the next stage. That's what I'm definitely finding myself in 2026. I'm more willing to do that than I was ever before. I'm trying to decide now what I want to DIY myself and work out and what I don't. I've worked everything out at the start. If you are in the early stages, you are doing the same. That's perfectly understandable. It makes perfect sense. But if you're in the early stages as well, but you maybe have some more capital behind you, or you're willing to invest more money rather than time, then you will fast track things by getting these solved, like getting some of these things solved for you instead of working them all out for yourself. A bit like with the website thing, like asking the internet for some tips on what to improve on your website is kind of DIYing things. That's not really expert advice or expert tips. I think you're better off asking like Shopify Sidekick that question and getting specific help on your website and what Shopify Sidekick says about your website in your niche and your industry and your average order value and your products. That's probably a far better use of your time if you're DIYing that solution yourself instead of asking in a random Facebook group about it, because you, like I said, you will just get 100 different tips and tricks and answers from 100 different people. It makes me feel paralyzing even just thinking about it. So some of these things may sound familiar to you. Some of these frustrations may sound familiar to you. It may be kind of where you're at. Do you find yourself either needing to solve something? You've maybe been burnt with ads before. You know you want to get back into advertising with ads. Maybe you used to and you've stopped. You're just not sure on the data. You want to understand more about the data and what's going on so that you can feel clearer in what budget to spend, in what direction. You want to be able to see what results come through and make decisions from those results. Because one thing as well with ads, I will tell you, sometimes we can think it's ads and it's not even ads. Like 2 weeks ago, I sold out of my bestseller and I thought my ads had stopped working, but it was because my bestseller was out of stock. Meta was still doing the best it could, but the point was the people who were coming to my website, and my bestseller is my bestseller for a reason. Lots of people will buy it. It's a nice, easy impulse buy, and it's something that's fun and nice to have, was out of stock. So even if Meta was sending just the right person to my website for a really good price, they couldn't buy what ordinarily a new customer would go looking for and purchase. So the ads problem wasn't an ads problem. It was the product issue. It was my inventory was the issue, not even the ads. And unless somebody comes in and looks at that sort of information for you, it can be hard to tell. Another issue that can seem like an ads issue that may not be is if you're driving traffic, but you have a sale at the moment. Maybe you're running a sale for Easter, end of financial year sale, or whatever you might be running a sale for, New Year's Day, all different sales through the year. But if you're pushing traffic and you're running ads that have sale messaging, Meta will find you a different customer than when your prices are full price. In other words, if you run sales too often, the type of user Meta learns your business needs, and the type of user they will send you all the time is a bargain hunter and someone looking for a bargain. Like, it does make sense, but how crazy and frustrating is that? So having sales too much is detrimental in that sense if you run ads, because if you run ads that have sale messaging, but they're all the ads you run and you don't do anything else, then unfortunately, I think you find over time your average order value will get worse. Your cost per result will get worse because your ad account is learning that Meta needs to find you bargain shoppers who you will know this for yourself with your own e-commerce store. Hey, who can often be the highest like customer service heavy customers. They place very small carts, very small orders. They might need to visit your site a lot more amount of times before deciding to shop for the very first time. They might need to use every coupon code you have and stack them all together. It's just, then they won't buy at full price. They just won't. So then you start ads again when your sales ended, and you start running some ads that aren't sale related, and Meta struggles. It can't find you those customers because it has learned through the data and the pixel. It's learned by all the signals it has been learning from your ads and your website and your customers. You need bargain shoppers. It's hard to come out of that loop if you've done it for too long. So if you have advertised if you're on sale all the time, or if all of your ads push sale messaging, then book yourself a discovery call. Let's chat, because I feel like I can probably help you get out of that loop, because you may have found your ads have gotten increasingly more expensive, and you may find when you're not on sale, you can't get anybody to buy. And that's probably because Meta has learnt and thinks it needs to find only bargain shoppers for you. So that's sort of another thing as well I would encourage you to consider as far as ads and running sales. The last thing I'll say as well before I go is with the two different services that I do offer, so Meta Ads and Klaviyo email marketing, they actually work really well together. There's a lot of clients that I have who have taken up both of those options together as a bundle because they plug the leaky bucket. The reason they work together well is when you run ads, your email marketing does better. When you have email marketing, it helps support the money you're spending on ads and often helps offset the cost of a new customer acquisition. That's how they work really well together. Klaviyo having a pop-up and a list that you're collecting leads, and then you're reaching out to them through segments and flows and a weekly campaign, plugs that leaky bucket of data when we're like sending all of these users from Meta to your website, and there's no avenue for you to capture them to keep that like nurture relationship ongoing. You really are wasting a lot of money on your ads that you could be spending more efficiently and better, making the most of those dollars. Like advertising on Meta is expensive. So you want to be making the most of those dollars and those users by collecting them in Klaviyo. And then you want to be reaching out to them to nurture them and continue to build that relationship with them so that they decide to shop and purchase. That you can do through flows and through standalone campaigns. But that's why I think they work really well together. And I encourage you to do both if you're considering ads. Make sure you are either doing email marketing or I'll look after that for you. If you're doing email marketing, have you thought about ads? Because you're probably not getting enough traffic to the website to make the email marketing worthwhile. In February 2026, my revenue was up 200% on February 2025. So a massive increase on my overall revenue through my Shopify store by 200%. And my email marketing revenue in dollars is up 80% through all of last year on the year before. So the actual dollar figure I got in revenue from Klaviyo in 2025 is up 80% on 2024. So I'm like the perfect example of how they can really work really well together, by my email marketing helping offset the cost of a first customer acquisition on Meta, and then Meta driving all of that great traffic to Klaviyo to help make my email marketing worthwhile. Like unless you have a decent number of users in Klaviyo, it feels like it's not even worthwhile emailing them. It is. I can tell you it's worthwhile, but it can feel like it's not worthwhile at the start. But just stick with it, because remember, the more you do email, the better your domain health will be. If you collect these leads and they just sit there doing nothing, your domain health will degrade over time, which is why you should totally reach out to me for that support as well. Like, let me take that on for you. Then if your Klaviyo account is sitting there and you've done nothing with it, then please book a call. Let's chat about that, because I can, start getting that data flowing through again and get some of those users engaged, which will give signals back to Meta, because then they'll be retargeted with your Meta ads as well. It's like such a great little partnership and ecosystem. I think it's great. I hope this was helpful. I hope this maybe helped you think, am I on this? Should I book a call with Rachel or not book a call with Rachel? Where do I sit in my business growth journey? Either of those is fine. I encourage you to book a call if you feel like it's the right next step for you. If not, keep listening to my episodes and DIYing the solution for yourself. Also, all fine. Thanks for hanging out with me today at Aussie Online, growing on Shopify.com.au. As always, keep learning.